What an embarrassment. What an absolute embarrassment. Last night was further proof as to why people don't watch pretend basketball. Last night was further proof as to why people do not respect the WNBA.
Angel Reese had more than one bad night. She experienced a complete breakdown. As if she were giving out presents, 0 baskets, missed layup turnovers. The most outrageous aspect was that her own teammate Camila Cardoso was prepared to ask for a trade midway. When your teammate's body language speaks louder than the coach's, you know it's serious. Camila was physically withdrawing, saying things like, "Girl, you're on your own." Furthermore, let's face it, this goes beyond a single subpar performance. Angel is playing as if she thought the WNBA was a TikTok live. All talk, no action. Fans are laughing when she airballs layups during the game and takes a few runway walks before it starts. Her teammates are separating, and the Chicago Sky are rapidly disintegrating. Stay put. Let's dissect everything. How? In just 2 games, the Chicago Sky transformed from hopeful to hopeless. The numbers speak louder than any social media post. So let's start there. Angel Reese had 0 baskets, 12 rebounds, 8 of which were offensive, and only 2 points while going 0 for 8 from the field. Additionally, many of those were simply her making up missed layups, so don't be fooled by that rebounding stat. Fans failed to notice hustle. They observed bewilderment. Likewise, Camila Cardoso. This is where the wild part starts. Whenever Reese made contact with the ball, Cardoso would clearly pull away, stepped away from her teammate. Literally, it isn't a coincidence. That is real-time chemistry breaking. We witnessed exactly that. Have you ever witnessed a teammate act as though the ball were radioactive? Cardoso, a 6 feet 7 inches center who should have been controlling the post, received very few touches. Each time she took a post, Reese would drive and either miss the ball or lose it completely. There is pandemonium, no recognition, no admission. Since body language conveyed a more profound narrative than the scoreboard, let's discuss it. At the time of that Liberty defeat, every time Reese missed, Cardoso physically separated herself from the group by sitting on the bench. Cardoso's shoulder slump wasn't subtle. She appeared to be prepared to switch teams at one point as she leaned away. The middle. This is where things start to get pretty crazy. Cardoso was marketed using this framework.
Angel Reese last night against the New York Liberty, one of the worst games she's played as a professional, takes that out on the referees. Camila Cardoso visibly upset, and all of this falls.
She was persuaded to come play for Tyler Marsh. She appeared to be doubting all she was promised after believing in the vision, and who can blame her? Camila didn't want to be a background player on the Angel Reese show when she entered the league with the goal of winning a championship. She didn't sign up to be an afterthought, and she didn't come to watch missed layups. Is the Chicago Sky irreparably damaged?
Camila Cardoso, a player for the Chicago Sky, and she's just answered a question that will have the entire Chicago Sky team or fan base turning on her.
Would you like to discuss historical lows? During the first 2 games they played, the Sky reported a 60-point gap. This is the worst start any WNBA team has ever had. Not only is that awful, but it's also embarrassing. And guess who has the worst plus-minus in the league? Angel? Reese on the Sky are 9 of the league's 14 worst players, plus or minus.
The Chicago Sky are already imploding from within. Fans are turning on the team. Camila Cardoso.
That issue isn't exclusive to Angel. The entire team has collapsed. However, she is at the heart of everything, and supporters are requesting that Chicago transfer Angel Reese before things worsen. Angel Reese is now a sensation in the media, claiming to be a villain. The queen of clapbacks turning power forward, the runway model, but let's face it, she's all brand at the moment. No bucket. She is only shooting 5 of 22 from the field in her first 2 games, which is only 22.7%. For someone who lives in the notoriously terrible paint, out of her 17 efforts from within 5 feet have been successful, or 23.5%. She is therefore missing 3 of every 4 layups. That's unacceptable in the professional ranks, and it's not as though she's making contested threes. She is missing all of these open layups, bunny shots, and setbacks. It has achieved internet meme status. People are questioning whether she is actually practicing these shoots. Turnovers with 10 points in just 2 games. She leads the WNBA, but she isn't distributing, finishing, or creating. Instead, she is handing the ball out like it's a raffle prize. Additionally, throughout all of this,
a jogadora mais promissora da Liga tirando você, which means the most promising player in the league, apart from you. And that is obviously what she was asked. This is what she said to that. This is what she answered to that question.
What causes Camila Cardoso to withdraw? Once more. Not only physically, but also psychologically, every time Reese fumbles a pass or misses another shot, you can see her losing interest. I would like to know if you are Camila. What are you contemplating at the moment? Cardoso must believe she was duped. Sold on an idea that swiftly became a nightmare, let's compare this catastrophe to the events in Indiana. The Fever and Caitlin Clark recently exacted retribution on Atlanta. After losing once, they recovered. They performed like a team, helping one another out. Off the bench, Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull are giving vitality. Aaliyah Boston was in control of the paint, Clark was in charge of distribution, and she made crucial decisions when it counted. That is the appearance of chemistry. In the meantime, in Chicago, while the bench appears to be watching a horror film, Reese is throwing up bricks. The Fever are doing more than just winning matches. They are creating a culture. The Sky they're creating justifications for.
Of Angel Reese failing to control her emotions. We saw it against the Indiana Fever. Yes, she got a hard foul.
Reese's terrible performance isn't the only sorrow here. She is bringing the team down with her. Her body language, teammates' disengagement, and the ball sticking slow down when she's on the floor. Instead of bricking layups, she seems to be posing, laughing, and clapping like she's a reality show star. In contrast, Cardoso plays defense, runs non-stop, and appears distressed when the team loses. One of them is attempting to prevail. The other one aims to get viral. When it counts in the locker room, whoever do you trust?
This Angel Reese crash out over a loose ball foul call. What are we doing here? We are 2 games in, and we already have 2 separate games of Angel Reese failing to control her emotions. We saw it.
The third game versus the Sparks was meant to be the game of comeback. Everybody's attention was on the Chicago Sky. They had the opportunity to silence the naysayers, secure a much-needed victory, and demonstrate that the first 2 blowouts were merely growing pains. Most importantly, the Sparks were without not 1 but 2 important starters. This was a gift-wrapped victory on paper. It was similar to basketball Santa arriving early, but they completely bungled it. Angel Reese's depressing tale is repeated. Wide-open layups that ought to have been automatic were missed. Fans covered their faces in shock after LA's airballed hook shot and lazy fouls that awarded them free points.
It is 2 sides of the same coin. The Angel Reese fan base versus the Caitlin Crazies. Like, they are 2 sides of the same coin, but they're not going to be happy with this answer. So let's never forget.
Her plus-minus was once more among the poorest on the court. That's 3 games in a row with subpar play. The Sky was down and out by halftime, and they appeared shell-shocked, dead, and perplexed. No vigor, no urgency by the 4th quarter. They were only going through the motions, not even fighting, not even acting like they cared, as if someone had hit the mute button on their season. And here's the bit that hurts the most. Not only did Reese perform poorly, but she also lacked heart. She appeared to have mentally tuned out during the 2nd quarter. Just empty stares and lost possibilities in the absence of fire, leadership, and adversity response. When you observe a player, you could get the impression that she doesn't want to be out there. Angel gave off, and the other members of the squad did the same. It was a 40-minute slow-motion catastrophe, and nobody spoke up or rallied the group. This wasn't against a full strength. The Spark Squad this was against a diminished squad that was lacking weapons and operating on fumes, but they still appeared quicker, smarter, and more connected than the Sky, which says it all. Every night, Reese posts mysterious messages as though she's dropping 30. Let's face it, Bunba defenders aren't fooled anymore. They're sagging off her as if they know she won't make them pay, and they dare her to shoot. Selfies in the tunnel with quotes about detractors' costumes like it's Fashion Week when they beat her on defense. There is no recovery because they lure her into crazy drives. Just a sluggish jog back and a blank stare without any bustle. She is behaving like a superstar while producing outcomes as a bench player, and when your play doesn't fit your personality, it affects not only you but your entire team. She is currently more of an influencer than an impact player. The basketball is a mess and is beginning to wear thin, but the brand is polished. Even her own supporters, who encouraged her on TikToks and during her pre-game outbursts during the LSU debacle, are beginning to turn against her. Videos showing failed defensive rotations, blown layups, and airballs are all over TikTok and Twitter. Now, people are saying it aloud. Perhaps the excitement was exaggerated. The brand won't be sufficient to keep her on the floor at this rate, so when your highlight reel is filled with lowlights, it's time to quit browsing and go to work. Let's keep it 100 Angel right now. Ree is playing like a bust. And no, that is simply the harsh reality of what we are witnessing on the court. It is neither hatred nor bias. It's not just one awful night. This relates to a trend. 3 games in a row, 3 consecutive defeats, turnovers, layups, and glass-clinging turnovers. You would think she was still learning the game because of her extremely poor shooting percent. And yes, Camila Cardoso is aware. Her body language screams it, and her face says it all. Her avoidance of sprinting, pick and rolling with Reese, and her silent scooting away on the bench are all visible to fans, reporters, and everyone else, except, evidently, Angel herself. So, let's pose the now inevitable question. What should the Chicago Sky do next? Should they bench Reese and ride with Cardoso, try to salvage this duo and hope Ree works it out, or take a risk and trade Reese before the locker room blows up? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you still think there is hope for Angel Reese, or should the Sky go on? We would want to hear from you. The Sky was expected to undergo a major change this season. Instead, Angel Reese stars in a catastrophe film. It's time to confront reality. A failing system, a disappointed squad, and a player who might not be prepared for the attention she sought are all that remain once the hoopla has crashed into reality. To ensure you don't miss any updates, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell if you want more in-depth basketball analysis and commentary. Till the next occasion, thank you for viewing.